well, Forest haven't really, it's a bit like coming back into the Premier League. Premier League had changed beyond all recognition in the 20-odd years that Forest were out of it, and they've come back into this huge goldfish bowl of a tournament in the Premier League, competed admirably for the first two seasons, had an extraordinary season last year, and now they return to a European competition, which has also changed beyond all recognition from the last time they played in it 30 years ago. So huge excitement around the club, I think. And I know Nuno's concerns this week maybe have dampened things a little bit, but overall, the expectation, the excitement, the joy with which this season is being approached by Forest fans it's great to see. Just, you know, the club has a smile on its face generally, and it just continues to build and build and build. The atmosphere may be slightly different next week, Steve Hodge, when Forest are at Palace, where there's a fair bit of animosity just at the moment because Forest are in the...
Well, look, genuinely, when Palace beat Man City in the FA Cup, I was gutted because it meant Forest wouldn't get the Europa League spot. So I've got friends at Palace, to be fair, who I know pretty well, and they were really thrilled by their FA Cup success. I genuinely feel sorry for their supporters and for their players and for their hierarchy, really, apart from the ones who didn't get the ducks in order and didn't see what might be coming down the road and didn't plan for an occasion when they might win the FA Cup and their owners might have another club in that competition. So they only have themselves to blame. And say again, I feel sorry for the fans and the players. And it's a great football club, and we'll be there next week, obviously. But I do feel that it's their own fault, and we benefited from that.
Yeah, and it means Europa League, which feels very different to Conference.
I've been looking at the games in the Conference League recently, and I mean, they've been playing for the last month or so, and lots of the teams are like three letters, DRC or whatever, my team called Dritter. And I've been going through them all and said to Colin, texting one day, said the team actually plays in the middle of the Atlantic Ocean. Yeah. Of course, Santa Clara, for the Portuguese team in the Conference League, finished last year in Division. So there's the teams that don't go in there, and probably good up-and-coming teams, and that's the way it should be. But your real heavyweight competitions are the old European Cup, the Champions League, and the old UEFA Cup, the Europa League, and I'm so pleased we're in that because it's 10 times better than the Conference League.
We're not too far away from kick-off here at City Ground. The Forest subs are just making their way out. Ryan Yates is applauding the supporters there as well. Just look at the amount of red around the City Ground. The flags being waved in the Richmond lower away to our right in that corner. And we're going to get that water display very soon as well.
No.
The music, the atmosphere building here.
Absolutely, and also, I think, you know, I've learned recently that there's thousands of people on a waiting list to get a season ticket at the moment. So that's why they need a new, bigger stadium, because there are genuinely probably 10,000, 15,000 people who will be here now who can't get tickets. Yeah. So it just shows you how the club is going.
And that is, you know, something to play. There's more steps on that being taken this summer as well. We are not too far away here from the opening day of the season. You're going to hear it all throughout the whole of the season. Every game always on digital radio. Here's Igor Jesus getting a bit of applause as he makes his way out with his red shirt on, over his shoulder as he takes a seat into the substitute bench for this opener. So Forest Brentford on the way, every game this season available on digital radio. Today, not only on digital radio, on FM as well, as many games will do, 103.8, 95.5. Also today, it's available on BBC Sounds, which means you can hear this on your smart speaker. Nottingham Forest against Brentford on the way, on the home of live Nottinghamshire sport. It's match day for BBC Radio Nottingham, and your commentary team for Forest Brentford opening day of the 25-26 season is the former Forest and England midfielder Steve Hodge and Colin Fry. Here's Anderson breaking for the goal. Chris Wood, Trent End, runs up now, right foot. Another hat-trick for Chris Wood. It's another corner from the edge of the penalty area. Wouldn't you just know it? It's the Forest captain, Ryan Yates. And it comes and header by Milenkovic is in. Nikolaj Milenkovic scores his first Forest goal. Hudson-Odoi coming in onto his right foot. from Callum. It's a wonderful, wonderful break.
Nottingham Forest on BBC Radio Nottingham, the home of live Nottinghamshire sports.
That thunderous noise around the City ground as Morgan Gibbs-White leads Forest out from the tunnel to the halfway line to start the 25-26 Premier League campaign. Forest at the moment with red tracksuit tops on, and Brentford, I have to say at the moment, look a bit like Burnley, or West Ham got claret tracksuit tops on, sky blue shorts and socks underneath. The sun has just maybe temporarily gone behind a cloud, but it's a baking hot day out there for the opening day of the season. As for the first time in 30 years, Forest start a European season. They start with a team which doesn't show too many changes. Murillo is just carrying off his newborn child to the side of the pitch, who he carried out in his arms at the start of the game. And now gets to the side of the pitch, offloads Ted, the youngster, and strips off that tracksuit top as well. Seeing the rest of the side get on some water. Yeah, not too many changes from how Forest ended last season, but as you may just have heard 10 minutes or so ago, there might be changes on the way, because the likes of James McAtee and Amari Hutchinson have just been announced and introduced, but not time to be down and after a £35 million move from Bologna. Jesus and Jair both on the bench, along with new signing goalkeeper Angus Gunn as well. Forest with Matt Sells in goal, Ola Aina, Nikola Milenkovic, Murillo and Nico Williams the back four, Elliot Anderson and Ibrahim Sangare the holding men in midfield, Darren Doy and Callum Hudson-Odoi providing the width, with Morgan Gibbs-White in between them, and up front it's Chris Wood, scorer of 20 goals last season. On the bench, Morato, Taiwo Awonyi, Ibu Jesus, Jota Silva, Ryan Yates, Jair, Willie Bolly, Zach Abbott and Angus Gunn. The crowd are singing out the name of Morgan Gibbs-White. What a significant piece of business that was in the summer, with Evangelos Marinakis getting personally involved in the talks to keep Morgan Gibbs-White here at the City Ground. Well, before we get underway today, as has been the case, quite rightly so as well, around the country over the last couple of days at the start of the Premier League season, we are going to remember here the Liverpool player Diogo Jota and his brother Andre Silva. Jota and his brother Andre Silva tragically killed during the course of the summer. And the teams break away to form their own huddles. Forest to the left, to the Trent end, where it displays a card mosaic representing a Forest team, and wording from a Scottish scorer, John Muir. Says, and into the forest I go to lose my mind and find my soul. This is opening day month. Just about set here at the City Ground for the latest chapter, a European chapter in Forest history, and we haven't seen one of those for 30 years. What will the next 9 months bring? Whatever it is, you'll hear it here on BBC Radio Nottingham as we're underway, and a long ball forward from Matt Sells goes all the way through to his opposite number. Queven Kelleher, one of Brentford's new signings. this season. There's a long ball forward from Brentford now as well, which goes
Esa,
sailing out of play.
pomachamy, podziękujemy za wspólną drogę, bezpieczną. Nie czytałem, nie odpowiadałem, bo jechałem. Dobra, dziękuję, pozdrawiam serdecznie, czule Forest gra, a niedługo Pogoń gra. A jak Pogoń gra, to wszystko staje. Dobra, trzymajcie się, pozdrawiam serdecznie, czule.